I decided to go to Shasta, and the whole retreat was amazing. I love Shasta. After that week, I was blown away. I signed up for to work with Emily for a whole year. My business has streamlined in a way that it has just shot, not even forward, everywhere. I've only been working with Emily for 3 months, and I'd say that everything has shifted. So it's been amazing.
Welcome, everyone, to the June 4 episode of Akashic Answers with Emily. The records are now open. Say hello to me once you get here, and I'll say hello to you back. My name is Emily Harrison. I'm the founder, director here inside the Akashic Academy. I am an Akashic Records mentor, working with visionaries and thought leaders across the planet, training you guys to exit the world of ordinary mind and tap into super conscious intelligence, tap into God mind, so you can activate self-healing and unleash your unique creative genius here on the planet. I have experienced radical life change through the Akashic Records. Dodie Kendall in the house today. Hello, Dodie. Dodie's life a change in two with the Akashic Records. You might think that the Akashic Records are for energy healers or psychics, especially once I give you the definition. Okay, if you are new here, do not worry. We are going to talk all about the Akashic Records. You're going to have some working knowledge of how the records work today. And we are going to also go into the records. I've actually already opened the records. You're going to get to experience what it's like to receive intelligence and energy transmissions from the Akashic Records today. The Akashic Records are the realm of consciousness that hold all information, past, present, all possible futures, and is recorded from a neutral perspective. Neutral means unconditional love and zero judgment. Okay, this is like the etheric library of the cosmos, y'all. This is why I call it super conscious intelligence or God mind. The records hold all possibility of what can potentially happen to us, and the records also hold an account of what we have experienced, what our soul has experienced, not only in this lifetime, but in other incarnations. So when we learn how to tap into the Akashic Records, which everyone can do, that is my mission, is to inspire you to remember that you're already wired to this field of technology. But when we start to tap in and use the Akashic Records to get instantaneous wisdom, guidance, and clarity about our lives, man, they begin to change fast. All right. And we are in a time of evolutionary growth here on the planet. What does that mean? It means that humans are waking up. Send some love, likes, hearts across the screen if you feel like we're ready to wake up around here. All right, but what does that actually mean, to wake up? Well, it means that we're going to start seeing things that have previously been unseen. We're seeing a lot of the untangling in our government, dismantling, revelation, things happening. It's not just happening on this plane of the collective, though, guys. It's really happening within each one of us. Okay. When I talk about this rapid evolution that's happening on the planet, each one of us are able to see ourselves more dynamically right now. You can see your patterns more clearly. You have an opportunity, should you be ready and willing to take personal responsibility for the patterns and the programs and the energy that you're running subconsciously that's causing you to play in lack, to play in limitation, to settle for less than your divine blueprints. We can change all of that by accessing our Akashic Records. All right. Like I said, life begins to shift and change really radically. And as we're evolving here on the planet, that's the invitation. That's the quest. It's not actually to look at the outside world and to get angry and frustrated and be, as my granny would say, we're going to hell in a handbasket. The mission right now is to be able to look within and find the areas where we are operating in less than our divine blueprint. Here's what it looks like when you're operating in your divine blueprint, y'all. Peace, prosperity. There are 3 P's when I learned this one. Let's see. Peace, prosperity, power. Yes. being in our power to create. That's why you came here to the planet, like my beautiful friend here, Kevin. We came here to be creators, to experience ourselves in the likeness and image of God. And the truth is, we are creating to perfection in every single moment. Your life right now is a perfect creation, a perfect manifestation of your thoughts, your feelings, and your choices. If you would like something different, if you would like an up level, an upgrade, all that requires is for you to change your thoughts, emotions, and your choices. Now, here's the challenge with that. I know I made it sound very simple, didn't I? High five. All right, here's the challenge with that. Thoughts are the first thing that we want to look at here. Thoughts are the most important thing. The way that your human is currently working. Okay, humans have on average 12 to 60,000 thoughts per day. I used to want to be on the high side of that when I heard this statistic because I'm an overachiever, y'all. I'm a type A. I like to, I like to play big. I like to do my best. I like to feel like I'm in my potential, and I felt like my potential had to be on the high end of that 12 to 60,000. Oh no! Here are the rest of the statistics. Of those 12 to 60,000 thoughts per day, 90% of them are negative. 80% of them are repetitive, same ones you had yesterday. And 95 to 99% of them are subconscious. You don't even realize you're thinking them. So we're running these thoughts on repeat subconsciously. That means below our awareness, that are ingrained with limitation, with trauma, with coping mechanisms that we've installed in our own technology, that it's time to heal. That's what evolution is. Evolution is being able to increase our amount of self-knowledge so that we can create with a higher level of mastery. All right, so here's how it's going to work. I am going to channel intelligence from the Akashic Records based on your questions today. And thank you so much for being here. Whether you're joining live or whether you're joining on the replay, your energy calls forward the intelligence that we get to bring into our awareness today. And I've set an intention before we started that the next piece of information that's going to make a difference for you in your life will drop in either during this show or maybe afterwards, maybe something that you think sets your brain on a course where the answer pops in for you. All right. That's what it means to see what is unseen. All right. So Kevin is rocking and rolling here with some questions. Thank you, Kev. I'm going to get to your questions. Light up my chat box, guys, with questions. Let's see. I do want to share a little more about the Akashic Records with you so you can play along. All right, here's what you need to know about the Akashic Records is that the records work by invitation only. Doesn't mean that only certain ones of us are invited. We're all invited. It means we must invite forward the knowledge that we're seeking, which is why I'm encouraging you to ask some questions. Another caveat to the records is they will only give us the amount of information and intelligence that we are ready to receive in this moment. So how can we make sure that we're getting all of the good information that we know we want, that we're like, oh, I need this, is right there. We take personal responsibility, for everything that we're currently creating. When you take responsibility, you move back into your power. For those of you who are feeling powerless, that's the key right there, is you've got to step back into your power. Step back into the power of your thoughts, the power to direct your thoughts. Okay? Doing this work in the Akashic Records moves our thoughts from the unconscious plane into consciousness so that we can understand them more. And if we're willing to take responsibility for what we see, more and more will be revealed to us. Okay? Here's another way to get more out of the Akashic Records. You got to love yourself, y'all. Let's bring in an activation right now for self-love. If you're ready to receive an activation, to love yourself more and judge yourself less, you can say yes right now. Guides are already bringing that energy in through the heart space. You can feel your heart warming and expanding. Feel that energy moving throughout the whole body. So good, y'all. Before I learned how to read the Akashic Records myself, I felt very disillusioned with life. I was a Hollywood actress. I was actually making six figures as a Hollywood actress, and still feeling like I wasn't making it. I had three young kids. I felt very overwhelmed balancing motherhood, parenting here on this planet, and showing up to my mission. And the truth is, I was really depressed. I felt like there was more for me. After I learned how to read the Akashic Records, not only did it help me understand my life mission and purpose here on the planet and help me figure out how to get on that path, what feel like the big epic things, y'all. I use the Akashic Records more for little day-to-day things. And that's why I want to really inspire you to play in this space today. All right. Notice the intelligence that flows into your mind, into your imagination. So as you come into this space, you're attuned to the field. I opened up the records before we started. So notice what this can do for you. Not only what you experience as we're here together today, but what you experience later on. Peter Voss in the house. Peter, a restaurateur. I love you, Peter. Uses this to stay close to grandma. You definitely have a connection to the etheric realms, Peter, to bring in wisdom and guidance for being a parent here on the planet. Being a parent is challenging, y'all. All right, the beautiful Dodie Kendall in real estate, also an Akashic record reader. Regina, I hope to welcome into the training very soon. All right, so let's dive in as promised and start getting some intelligence and activation here in the Akashic Records. Kevin Hodak says, can we have another pineal gland activation? Yes, my friend. Yes, yes, yes. All right, so first of all, let's talk about what a pineal gland activation is. This is an activation for your third eye. And go ahead and lick your finger right now and rub your forehead. You're going to feel a coolness, all of your awareness moving to the third eye. Some of y'all said, gross. What? No, seriously, do it. It's awesome. Okay. Why we did that is to bring all of our awareness and attention to the third eye, attention to the third eye. Where attention goes, energy flows. And as we bring energy, awareness, consciousness to the third eye, it naturally begins to activate. You can do this for yourself 3, 5, 10 times a day. There's no limit to it. And here's what will happen when you open your third eye and you begin to allow yourself to be led by unseen guidance. Your intuition will start to get really sharp. That means you're going to start getting messages into your mind. Sometimes the messages will look like an image flashing in your mind. Sometimes the messages will look like chills or goosies or emotion that you feel in your body. Sometimes the signs will be a voice that you hear in your head. Okay. But as you activate the third eye, look, I've done it 3 times in the past 2 minutes. Like for the last 20 years, I've also been using a tuning fork to open my third eye. Your third eye is the chakra that allows you to perceive beyond this physical realm. Okay, to see what is unseen. All right. All right. The guides are saying if you Girl Scouts honor promise to use this for good, they'll double the activation. You promise to use it for good, Kev? Peter, Regina, y'all promise to use it for good? Dodie, give me a yes in the comments. If you will promise to use your expanded vision for good, for the highest good of yourself and everyone connected to you. All right. And the guides are going to increase that transmission moving through the third eye now. The guides are giving me a specific number right now, which is interesting. They're saying they're clearing out decades or more of lack of clarity. Anybody struggling with lack of clarity right now? Cool. Getting the yeses. Yes. Thank you, guys. Yes. From the frequency of love, Lindsay. Yes. Cool. All right. So the guides want to talk a little bit more about the lack of clarity coming in. This lack of clarity they're talking about like long-term lack of clarity that you've had in your life from decades, 20 years or more. The guides are saying that this is going to classify as ancestral trauma. Okay, so would you like to do some clearing of your ancestral lines today? That's an awesome thing to do in the Akashic Records, is clearing and healing ancestral energy. Okay, so I want you to think about something right now. Let the first thing come to your mind, or let's take two. Work with the first thing that comes into your mind. And what characteristic was handed down to you in your ancestry that you feel like is working against you right now? Okay. And if you want to, you can just put a hand on the heart and a hand on the belly, like just drop in with yourself. The hand on the heart will activate heart wisdom for you. Hand on the belly and the gut will just let your body know, hey, I'm safe. I'm safe to pull up. Oh, my third eye just did a little doody-doo dance there. Hands on the body will let your body know I'm safe, tapping into these thoughts and emotions. So I want everyone to get an experience with some ancestral clearing today and notice, not only for the rest of today, but as the week goes by, how much lighter you can feel when you clear stuff that's just been in your field for so long. All right, so bringing that up into the mind, into the awareness, a characteristic that was handed down from your ancestry that's not serving you. And I want you to imagine, and the more you imagine this, the more you play along, the stronger the clearing and the healing will be. So imagine white light. Okay, imagine that white light coming into your body. White like the snow crystals, like imagine that you're on top of a mountain and you can just look around and you see snow everywhere. White, maybe some rainbow sparkles off of that white, but that pure white, okay? That's what we want. We want to bring that pure white light into the body. Okay. I want to call in gratitude as well. Gratitude for whatever this characteristic is that you feel like has been holding you back. Originally, it was brought into the field to protect you, to protect us. Okay. So we want to thank our ancestors for the ways that they got off course, off track from the divine blueprint, moving through survival mode, their fears coming up. Thank them for the evolution that we got to experience from that path that they took. But we don't need those aspects that are of the human experience that are not part of the divine blueprint. They're here for us to learn, but they're not designed for us to stay in those old patterns of playing small, of holding back, of making fear-based decisions. Okay, and we don't need that anymore on the planet. So let's release that now. White light, white light, white light. Okay, now I want you to think about what is the opposite of this pattern. What is the opposite? So in essence, what we're doing is we're clearing the Akash. We're clearing that old energy from the Akash. Now we're going to upload some new energy, some new patterning. So what is the opposite of that personality trait? Okay. If you feel afraid to be seen, or it's challenging for you to be in your fullness in groups or in public, and you shy away from that, and you know that you have a story to tell, to get on stage, a mission, um, being able to just talk to people easier. Just talk, Emily. Just get it out. Being able to just communicate more naturally with people. Okay. So, whatever the opposite of the characteristics that's holding you back, I want you to envision yourself with that characteristic now. Some swag, some confidence, some belief in yourself, whatever it is, and feel it. Try it on. Yes. Bring it up in your sense memory. Okay. Project it into your body, into the field. Call it up, conjure it. It's like an acting exercise. Think like that version of you, feel like that version of you, move like that version of you, and just ingrain it. Tell your cells to memorize it right now, to memorize this vibrational frequency. Good job. All righty. We just did some reprogramming. High five. All right. Here's what to look out for next. All right. After you reprogram yourself, you overwrite some old programming and you rewrite some new programming. You're going to get tested just to see if this is still your choice. What do I mean by that? Some people talk about the universe testing them. I don't really love to look at it that way, or God testing me. I know it's a test. I get my feathers just a little ruffled. Here's what feels more empowering for me. This is the storyline, and whatever framework you use is all good. The storyline that works best for me is, okay, once I've made a conscious decision to exit an old timeline and move into a new timeline, my higher self is going to help me fully embody that shift and change. So my higher self is going to give me an opportunity to try it out, which basically looks like I'm going to be in a situation where maybe my mindfulness is dropped a bit, meaning I don't see the test coming. It's going to happen when my defenses are down and I'm not ready for it. It's going to be a trigger that comes up and I'm not ready for it. And I'm going to be very tempted to go back into the old version of me to respond the way old Emily did. And then I'm going to remember and be like, oh, wait, this is where I get to embody the new version of me. And I will likely very, very clunkily and awkwardly, did I make that word up? I'm pretty sure I did. Clunkily. We got to put that one in the made up word dictionary, made up word glossary. All right. So just to give you clear and reasonable expectations, that's what it looks like for me in my world. Okay. When I am shifting and changing. So be on the lookout for the test. Type test in the comments. If you are ready for the test, you want to be ready for the test. All right. We need some more questions in here, y'all. How about this? While we're waiting for some more questions, I have something very, very special for you today. All right. So for those of you who have been curious about the Akashic Records, maybe you've thought about reading your records, but like I said earlier, you feel like, well, it's for woo-woos. That's for the serious woos. That's for people who are energy healers and psychics and shamans. And all right, no, let me share with you. You do not have to be officially contracted into the field of woo for the Akashic Records to be valuable for you. In fact, Robert, project manager, learned how to read the Akashic Records. It helped him write his legacy book and also learn to communicate with his wife who had passed. Speaking of book writing, the Akashic Records also helped Eva, who was a math PhD student, not write a math book. Actually, Eva used it to activate the creative side of her mind. She tapped into the field and precognitively chronicled COVID, the shutdown that we went through, the epidemic that we went through, in a fantasy fiction novel that she released right at the time of the pandemic. It's crazy. Like, she'd basically foreseen this, not realizing that it was actually going to happen in humanity. And she wrote a fantasy fiction novel and won an award for fantasy fiction novel. All right. So Eva was a math student. I talked to you about Peter earlier, Peter and Dodie. All right. All right. So for those of you who have been curious about the Akashic Records, but haven't taken a moment to dive in yet, this might be for you. If you are at a crossroads in life or someplace where you feel stuck, this is definitely for you. If you're at a place where you want to up-level your spiritual skills, yes. For those of you who feel like there's this nagging feeling within you that there's more, this is the more. This is going to help you figure out what it is. All right. So here's the deal. My next event is coming up July 16th. I'm going to be going hanging out with my good friend John Burgos. And after the meetings with John Burgos, we usually have a big influx of new Akashic Records students. So between now and then, I asked the team to open up space on my calendar for soul mapping. Okay, a 30-minute soul mapping where we're going to dive into what is possible for you, what the potential for your life is, and dissect what's standing in your way so that you can start getting those things out of your way. You've likely heard this perspective before. Everything is whole, complete. You are perfect as you are. Okay? It's the only thing that needs to shift and change for you to be where you are now into your highest potential timeline is the stripping away of the versions of you that aren't your true self. Okay, so we're going to dissect some soul mapping, how you can get where you want to go by stripping away the layers of yourself that you don't need anymore. Because I promise you, you have all that you need inside of you. You have all of the intelligence inside of you. You come wired, connected to God mind. And that's my mission on the planet, is to help you remember this wiring, help you figure out how to use your technology. All right. So if you are interested in joining me for a free 30-minute soul mapping call, there is the link. All right. I'm going to go looking for some more questions now. I don't see any more questions coming up here through StreamYard. So I'm just going to check on YouTube through my phone here. See if any of our friends on YouTube, we are broadcasting today live on YouTube, live on Facebook, and live with our brand new partners over at Connect TV. We are super excited to be joining the roster and lineup over at Connect TV. Hey, if you are watching from the Connect TV platform, let me know. Let me know in the comments, capital K, all caps, KNEKT. All right, let's see what's going on over here on the YouTube channel. If any of you have comments rolling here or questions, want to make sure that we get to all your questions today. Also got to make sure that this is turned down. All right. I don't see any more questions over here. Come on, Peter, what's your question? Regina, light up the chat box. Dodie, you still there? Let us know what you got. Lindsay, what's on your mind and heart? TCB, let us know. Why matters. Peter, I was dusting the other day, and I was cleaning out my white crystal bowl, and I found the same Why Matters paper that I find every time I dust, and I think of you, and I almost took a picture and sent it to you. But every time after, I fold it back up and I put it back in there. Why does matter, Peter? Is there an instant way to unfunkify? Thank you so much. You know I'm writing that down right now. Unfunkify. Okay. First of all, yes, Peter, laughter is instantaneous. And remember in the Sweat Lodge. So Peter has not only trained with me in the Akashic Records, y'all, but he has journeyed to Mount Shasta as well as to Reno for vision questing. Really deep training in the Akashic Records. Peter, remember when we were in the Sweat Lodge and the fire tender poked his head in between rounds and said the human body comes equipped with 2 natural medicines, laughter and tears. Okay. So having yourself a good cry or laugh, one of those 2 is the way to instantly unfunkify. Unfunkify. You know what? I think I'm going to start shooting my weekly videos using a made-up word. At least one of the videos is going to have a made-up word. Peter, can I use unfunkify this week? I'm totally using it. Plan to do soul mapping. Yes. That would be pretty funny, wouldn't it? If each one of my weekly videos, I was talking about one of my made-up words, or in this case, Peter's made-up word. I do give credit where credit is due, by the way. In my made-up word dictionary, if the made-up word came from a client or a friend, I give them credit. So, y'all, you can also submit your made-up words in the comments if you like. Okay? All right, TCB. Are there any other activations for us to take with the pineal activation? Sure thing. What you want? You just let me know and we'll whip it up. The guides will bring it in for you. So TCB, give me your special request, and yes, we'll whip up an activation for you. What else do I want to tell y'all? There was something that was coming in my field. Maybe I'll come back. Oh, I know. I was going to just like fill some airspace here because my hair on this side almost went behind. I haven't got one earring in. Only one earring today. I spent 10 minutes trying to get this earring in and I couldn't get it in. So I just said, my time's worth more than this, y'all. So yeah, if you notice that I'm only wearing one earring, don't write in. We know. Okay. Your time's worth more than that too. Don't write in. All right, TCB, what's the activation? Tell me what activation you want. Otherwise, I'm picking it for you. All right. All right, I'm going to pick one anyway. And then if I see your comment come in, I'll go back to yours. All right, let's see where else the guides want to activate us today. Feeling safe in our bodies. They're going right down to the root chakra. Feeling more safe in our bodies is going to allow us to become more self-expressed. Okay, feel safe for speaking our truth as well. All right, so we're going to actually, okay, this is a root. Root is where we experience safety. Okay. Solar plexus to about 2 inches above the belly button. This is where we have our self-expression, our personal power, our self-expression, our personality. Okay. And then throat chakra is where we speak the truth. All right. So we're just going to work on the root a little bit. The root chakra is at the base of your spine. And I recommend touching, go ahead and get to, I guess that's more than first base with yourself. Wait, first base is just, actually, let me just not go there. Let me just stop right now. All right. Root chakra is at the base of your spine. Go ahead and touch yourself low in the body. Because again, it brings our awareness to that part of our body, which naturally activates our ability to heal. We're all healers. You can self-heal. It's not hard. We're doing it right now by bringing awareness to the root chakra. Your root chakra, which is responsible for how safe and secure you feel on the planet. It can get overactive or underactive. Just the fact we talking about it right now, that we're bringing awareness to it, is activating the innate intelligence within your body, within your root chakra, and it knows what to do. Okay, I can trust my body to heal. Let's go up into solar plexus. Okay. Solar plexus, personal power, personality, self-expression. Just touching yourself, maybe a little gentle tapping. Activating, we're rebalancing the center. We're activating the innate intelligence within your solar plexus. Okay. So this is good when we get ourselves all in alignment and then surrender to unseen guidance, allowing ourselves to be guided by our higher intelligence. Life gets good. Okay, throat chakra, clearing out the ability where we've had challenges speaking our truth. Good. That was a good activation. Good job, guys. That felt good. All right, TCB. Here you are, back in the house. I've been having tension in the family. I have to be around tension in the family for the next 4 days. Family vacationing here. I may have an activation for peace and harmony. Well, yes, you can, TCB. And the guides want me to point out that this is one way that we subtly give away our power, is because you're actually living in tension around a situation that hasn't happened yet. Okay. So that's future projection based on past trauma. So what I can notice is that it's like your consciousness is bilocating right now. Part of you is in the past feeling like, well, I know this is going to happen because this is what happens every time. And then part of you is in the future and you're consecrating it. You are strengthening that possibility of it happening by feeling the tension right now. All right, so let's go right into the body. Let's relax the body. Bring yourself back into the now moment. Relax the body. See, and that's also an example of how our thoughts play out according to those statistics. Oh, wait, you can see my non-earring there. Hang on. This is also an example of how our thoughts play out to the statistics of 12 to 60,000 thoughts per day. They're repetitive. They're negative. We don't even realize we're thinking them. Oh, crap. I'm thinking thoughts right now that are taking me completely out of my power because my power is in the now moment. And then work on bringing yourself into a state of relaxation and peace in the now moment. That's true sovereignty. And once you get that template of true sovereignty, then you can call that up in any moment and you'll be free in any moment. Even if there is chaos happening and you want, there's an invitation to interpret that chaos as here we go again with my damn family. But you're giving away your sovereignty to them and you're practicing right now for giving it away in the future. So rather than that, okay, great. So now that we see the pattern, let's just do the opposite. Let's practice keeping it now so that we can be even better at keeping it in the future. You want to be better at keeping your sovereignty? I do. Let's bring in an activation for that. Let's see, where do the guides want to activate us for that? The guide thing, this one's gonna, like, we actually already had the activation. We had the aha moment, the recognition, right? The ooh, okay, I see it moment. That's really the activation. What's going to be more impactful for this one rather than the activation is the repetition of just practicing it. Okay. I will make one of my Akashic synchronized breathing videos this week about keeping your sovereignty, staying in your power. The best way to do that is just to get present and say, what do I want? And then choose that. What do I want to feel right now? How do I want to feel right now? And choose that. Okay. Got some Viktor Frankl kind of stuff rolling on up in here. All right. Let's see. Sherry. Actually, let's everybody give it up for TCB. Give it up for Peter too and his questions. Give it up for Kevin. Kevin, I was scrolling back up here to your question earlier. Thank you, all of you all who have brought forward questions for us today so that we can all learn and grow here together. Sherry's question. I'm being called to teach my very first crystal class. Yes. And sacred, I'm scared. And what if I can't find my words? Well, what if you can't, Sherry? You'll wing it. All right. So yeah, this is great. First of all, everybody give a round for Sherry. Sherry, I am so excited that you are hearing the call, that you are taking the call from your higher self, and that you're going to do this. It's totally normal and natural to feel, I don't even want to use the F or the S word. Y'all are like, who is she today? Although I want to say it's normal. Here's one thing that the guides are bringing in is the difference between Yaira and Pashad. Okay. Sometimes we name our fear, our anxiety, I'm scared. And it might not actually be that. So Sherry and anybody else who's on the verge of an identity shift, a new timeline, first day of class or school somewhere. This is how humans feel. Yaira and Pashad. Yaira is the energy of being ready to attempt something new. So let's say you're going to fly for the first time. Your ass is heading out to the cliff. You're standing on the edge of the cliff. You're about to go. You think you can do it, but you haven't actually done it yet. And you feel that, oh, okay, I'm ready. And I haven't done it yet. It's an excitement. And there's some uncertainty of the unknown in there. Okay? Versus the Pashad energy, that's a contraction energy. That's an energy that invites us the other direction, to go the other direction. It actually feels like constriction in the body. Okay? So just tune in a little more, Sherry, and see if you can notice which one of those that you feel. Okay. And then rename it. Yay, Sherry. Here's the other thing that's really worked for me is just like embrace the mess ups. Jennifer Lawrence is just, I love how embodied she is, how she'll just embrace tripping, going up to receive her Oscar. That's the best thing that I find to cope with it, and just practice and know that of course you feel that way now because you haven't done it yet. You haven't even done it the first time. Give yourself some grace. Once I do this 10,000 times, I'm going to be really good at it, I bet. Okay? And then I also tell myself I am learning. Anytime that I am identity shifting and changing, which by the way, it doesn't happen usually within like a week and then I'm there. A month to shift really big patterns like within the Akashic Records, I can definitely shift them out in a month where I'm no longer defaulting to that old version of myself. And a lot of times I'm wiping, like you guys, I'm wiping decades, if not generations of programming. And so it takes repetition. But if you figure out, how to work on yourself, work on your own patterns, And we did it here today. We just reverse engineer things. Okay? And you'll get committed to the repetitive shifts and changes in the way that you think, in the way that you feel. You'll get there. You will shift and change yourself really quickly. All right. TCB says words don't matter as much as intention. It's your crystal show, so you do you. Yep. Yeah, and that is another crazy statistic that I don't remember the actual numbers right now, but people will forget the vast majority of what you say. And what they will remember though is how you made them feel. All right. Let me know if you felt good today hanging out here. Maybe you want to share this out with someone in your life that you know could use some uplift as well. Sharing this content and this message not only helps me and my mission, but it also helps our brothers and sisters here on the planet. It's an inspiring, uplifting time that we get to spend here together. All right, one more time, if you are dropping in, before you had a chance to book your call with me, I've got a little time before my next event, and I'm super excited to get to know more of you out there. Like I mentioned, we are sharing our message now here at the Akashic Academy with Connect TV, so we've got a bigger audience. For those of you who have been curious about reading the Akashic Records and you're wondering if this is really going to make a difference in your life, we're going to do a little soul mapping together. I want to offer that to you if you feel confused about where to go in life. If you feel like there is more, but you don't know what that is, the Akashic Records can reveal all of these answers to you. All right. So if you have been curious about how the records can help your soul and your human get from where you are now to where you want to go, this is for you. Make sure that you get on my schedule quickly, because we will shut down access to those calls. Okay. All right. This has been a life changer again today. TCB, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you all. Felt great. Good, Regina. I'm glad that you were here. And I am so excited to be here back with you guys next week. All right. So mark your calendars. I'll see you then.
My first experience with the Academy was a one-day workshop. And I made such a profound shift in that one day that I knew I would work with her. Working with Emily this week has been profound and amazing. And the way she presents it, if you listen, you get it.